committee has been under a lot of pressure to take 4 brands of the Empire Wrestling Federation, Dead or Alive Wrestling, Southern Premier Wrestling, and the Independent Union, and bring them under one brand. And tonight, we have scouted the entire community, and we will be having debuts and some returns of some Worldwide Wrestling Network roster members. Starting things out tonight, we have MC Adams of partner organization Guerrilla Warfare Wrestling facing off against the debuting James Omega, the one and only. Following that, yes sir.
There is a problem on your screen right now.
What?
You booked the matches backwards.
No, I didn't.
Okay, are you sure?
I am certain.
It's showing, okay, then they've done it in a different order this year than they did last year's. Okay.
And up next, following MC Adams and that hot opener, we will have the debuting Roxana Stone up against Giselle Deluxe. And then in a match that was requested by both individuals, the returning Ken Sander and Benny Banks facing off in a grudge match. These two have followed one another across several promotions, and they have entered the Worldwide Wrestling Network, and they are throwing down in singles competition, and Benny Banks has something to prove that he is not a weak link in his tag team division. And debuting for their first match is the team of Terra Nova, featuring Ignusa, Lawdog, and Melanista. And Ignusa has the chance of a lifetime, facing off against the WWN On-Demand Champion, Michael Maverick. And in our main event, we've got Joe Blade facing off against the number 1 contender for the Worldwide Wrestling Network Championship, Bigger Grim. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take this and let's take it to ringside. MC Adams made his debut in the Worldwide Wrestling Network late in the season last year and was offered a contract to begin the rebranding process of the Worldwide Wrestling Network. And he is facing off against a new signee in the one and only James Omega. And this is going to be a hot opener, and we are starting things off with a bang. MC Adams has gone through a little bit of changes in the last several months, refocused his moveset, redefined some of his work in the ring, and gotten so much better. And he is facing off against James Omega, who is quite possibly, pound for pound, one of the strongest individuals that will be debuting in this Worldwide Wrestling Network. What is up, Nate? Alright, guys.
Long time no see, Nate.
I just want to give warning, guys. I do not have custom music set up, but we will have custom music set up shortly within the next few weeks. simply because I just haven't had time to do the work that I need to make it all work. But thank you guys for bearing with us and coming out here on this 13th. And as the lights drop, and this is becoming quite a hallmark of one MC Adams entering from a private booth, coming down the stairs. Adams,
making his way to the
the
ring.
MC, stands for
weighing in at 200
My Culture. And MC is trying to do it for his culture. Bring back and fight from his perspective and take back things that he feels have been taken from him and his people. But despite me not necessarily agreeing with this man's point of view, it does not take away from the fact that he can get it done in the ring.
How can you not agree with this man? I mean, seriously, how can you not agree with this man? You can turn on the news, on cable news, and see all of the stories about cultural misappropriation, cultural appropriation. You can pick up magazines on the newsstands that kids read nowadays and see all of these things about cultural appropriation or misappropriation. MC Adams is completely correct to want to take back those things that are being misused.
It's not necessarily the philosophy and his views that I disagree with. It is the fact that he, the extremes that he seems to go to every now and then. But MC Adams has, and so does James Omega. Both of these individuals have quite a challenge in front of them. This is the first time that they have ever faced off. This is the first meeting of James Omega and MC Adams. And here we go. MC Adams starting this thing, going behind and catches the elbow by Omega, and Omega legging in big fists. One of the things that folks are going to notice is the time clock in the upper right-hand corner. The WWN, most matches have a 20-minute time limit for regular matches, and a big power slam to MC Adams. And Omega laying in some big fists, and MC trying to connect with a boot and laid out with a clothesline. But MC, shoulder block, a little bit of the power game of his own, and German suplex, driving James Omega right to the head, and now this is this combination work that MC Adams has been working on, and Omega no-selling that. Oh, and look at that Enziguri clothesline.
See, you know, here's the thing. What kind of conduct are we getting out of this Omega guy that he is disrespecting Mr. Adams the manner that he is? I mean, you know, he's obviously disrespecting MC Adams with his behavior in the ring.
What are you on about?
I mean, you said it yourself. He's a poor salesman.
And Hamrick. And here we go. Adams and Omega both back up on their feet, and Adams catching him. That is a new move added to MC Adams' repertoire. That DDT. an absolutely vicious looking maneuver. And now Adams targeting and measuring James Omega, and he has got him locked up, and that is culture shock. 1, 2, kick out by Omega. MC Adams and that culture shock DDT rocking James Omega. The cobwebs have got to be spinning around in the head of Omega, and that is par for the course. Boom! And I think James Omega is busted open.
I think there's definitely got to be cobwebs in Omega's head. There's obviously not much up there besides cobwebs. I mean, you know, if there were, he would be, you know, playing this against Mr. Adams more respectfully. He would be more respectful. He would have probably not even bothered to try to get in this match with MC Adams due to the lethal pedigree of the man.
And a big pump handle drop to MC Adams. And, wow, a little bit of technician coming through on James Omega with that small package press. Whoa, look at this. Double axe hand, shoulder block. Ducks down, and a jumping clothesline by the one and only James Omega. And Omega gingerly going up to the top rope. Big Vader-like body splash. And Omega dragging MC Adams to the center of the ring. And there is just something about Omega not wanting to go for the cover just yet. And we got an Irish whip. And over the top rope, and this might break down into a brawl. This gives us an opportunity to talk a little bit more about the rules. There is a 20 count rule in the Worldwide Wrestling Network.
And we have actually verified that our refs are capable of counting to 20 this year, unlike situations we had last year.
And MC Adams with the, German suplex. Going into a dragon suplex. Will this be a Chimera? Taking it into the straitjacket. Chimera rolling suplex by My Culture Adams. And MC staring down the prone body of James Omega. And Omega using the ropes to stand. And that moment of waiting, big jackknife powerbomb and an elbow drop by Omega. MC waiting might have cost him 1, 2, kick out by Adams. But MC waiting that one moment, and Omega was able to get a big power move. And Omega going up. He's got it measured. He is picking up MC Adams. Big, powerbomb, lung broller. Is this it? 1, 2, and no. Adams getting the shoulder up. And Omega, knowing that this is his first encounter and this is a test for everyone involved here, he's got to be thinking, what do I need to do? That was my big move. Adams roll through. Good grief. Schoolboy.
We're seeing that his big move is not enough to get the job done against an experienced competitor like Mr. MC Adams.
Adams with the schoolboy plex. And once again, Adams simply waiting, toying with James Omega. And wait a minute. Bang! There's that DDT. And he might be... is MC Adams looking for a culture shock. There's the double... Wait a minute. Reversal. Big reversal by James Omega. And Omega again. Wait a minute. What is... Oh, my God! 2, 3. What an opening match. Beautiful Project Omega.
Adams is in the ropes. What is up with our referee not seeing that Adams was under the bottom rope there? Adams was under the bottom rope. What? I mean, do we have blind referees now?
Here is your winner.
And
James
tremendous
Omega.
ovation. Tremendous ovation for James Omega getting his first victory in this opening match of the inaugural Monday Night Melee. Congratulations, James Omega.
With assistance from a vision-impaired referee.
And we
be
might need
sure
to go
to
back
note
and
that.
look at the tape. We might have to revisit
Be
this.
sure to
But
note
right
that.
now, Hamrick,
He gets a win with the help of a vision-impaired referee. MC Adams was under the bottom rope.
and that is something that a championship committee will have to take under advisement and go back and look. And so, but right now, the referee's decision stands James Omega with the first official victory on Season 2 of Monday Night Melee. And we are not forgetting our Glow Division and this inaugural Monday Night Melee. Debuting tonight against one of the Worldwide Wrestling Network originals, Giselle Deluxe, is the Greek goddess, Roxana Stone.
And I want to hand it to Giselle up front before you even start bad-mouthing her, that she stepped up. She was the first one from the Glow Division to say, I will take on any of the newcomers that want to debut on Monday Night Melee. She was extremely willing to do this match. She was the first one to step up, and I commend her for it.
Well, maybe that very arrogant and self-assured personality will be good for something for once. And we will see.
Well, there was a little bit of extra money offered, but I mean, she was intelligent enough to negotiate a very good deal for herself to do this. So, I mean, but she was still the only one who was willing to step up and do so, which is, honestly, it is speaking very well of her, in my opinion.
And I want to thank every single one of people in the chat for joining us here tonight for the Worldwide Wrestling Network. And here is Roxana Stone making her debut. Roxana, very much inspired by the stories of the Amazon warriors. You can tell by her gear, by her appearance, and by her demeanor.
I'm just glad that we did not turn on the red light for her. I mean,
you will be the one that will have to tell her that joke, Mr. Hamrick. I don't think that she will take that very lightly. And
she's got to take it better than the other Roxanne I know. But that's another story entirely.
And Giselle Deluxe. She has been with the Worldwide Wrestling Network since its inception. Giselle, a self-appointed golden goddess, and she is a former Worldwide Wrestling Network Women's Champion, a former Southern Premier Women's Champion. She should have been a Glow Champion, she just as well get credited in the asterisk that was Messalina Caprice's title reign. And we have Giselle facing off against the debuting Roxana Stone.
And something else you mentioned here. Giselle is, by the standards of the other women in the Glow division, she is the golden goddess of the Glow division. And, I mean, I don't know of any other women who would try to call themselves that. And now we've got this upstart saying that she's a Greek goddess. And I can understand why she might have wanted this match against Roxanne for a,
That's
she
right.
might be very happy to, put this youngster in her place.
And here we go. We've got, Giselle missing with the slap, but digging into the eye of Roxana. Roxana fighting back. Big lariat by Roxanne. And big back and forth, and this is what we come to expect from the Glow division. And Giselle kicking sharp kick to the thigh. Forearm smash blocked by Giselle, and Giselle answers with a knee to the face. Cravat right into the knee. And Roxanne got it. Oh! Big suplex by Roxana Stone. And one more time, picking up Giselle, 2 in a row. And, wow, European uppercut by Roxana. And Giselle answering back with a forearm and now stomping away on the Greek goddess. And smartly, Giselle going for the cover. But look at this toying with Stone. Oh, and an attempt at a headbutt there, but catches the elbow. And now, it is all the Greek goddess Roxana Stone.
And I don't know what Giselle was thinking with pulling her up like that. I mean, she could have had her pinned right there, I think.
Maybe,
well, we'll
but
never know.
that is Giselle, and that has been the constant issue with Giselle. Yes, she is an incredible competitor, multi-time champion, but her egotistical attitude often costs her. And here comes Roxana, and she is answering back with those stomps, trying to put Giselle on notice, catching her! Oh my God, laying her out!
I
Cover!
think we can help
2.
with the, Brady's been asking for several WWWN superstars autographs, Mr. Grid. And Giselle kicked out like a veteran.
And wait a minute. Roxana. Look at this maneuver! What innovation! Cover. 1, 2, 3. And in a debut match, Roxana Stone with the victory over the veteran Giselle Deluxe.
Wow, I definitely think Roxanne, we've got to applaud her here, but Giselle definitely underestimated the newcomer. That's all we can say.
That is absolutely for certain, and Roxana Stone has certainly put the Glow locker room on notice with that very pointed statement. Congratulations, Roxana Stone. ladies and gentlemen, the match that social media has been promoting for weeks. Ken Sander versus Benny Banks. Benny Banks made the, I guess you could say, the unintelligent decision to say that he wanted to step up his competition, and we commend the young man for being hungry. But he might have bit off a bit more than he can chew, going up against some challengers from the Souls of Mischief. And Ken Sander remember, ladies and gentlemen, Ken Sander was the individual from the Souls of Mischief who got the guaranteed contract, fought his way to a contract at Vital Bowl in the six-man tag with Bigger Grip. And it was Ken Sander that got the cover and a guaranteed contract to the Worldwide Wrestling Network. Also at Battle Bowl, Benny Banks and Byron X12, his tag team partners in Punk Pop's Not Dead. They are the reigning, defending Worldwide Wrestling Network Tag Team Champions who showed up and upset the 6-month title reign of Bedlam. So Benny Banks is no slouch, and neither is Ken Sander. And we are going to officially welcome Sander and Banks to Monday Night Melee. I think.
Hey, Ghost, could you check your whisper real quick?
And here comes Ken Sander, along with fellow stablemate of the Souls of Mischief, Andrea Washington. Andrea will be a part of the Glow roster as well. Ken Sander is a powerful individual, using speed and strength to his advantage. A very focused, very intense young man.
And we also have a lot of expectations out of Zandria Washington. Zandria, I think is how you pronounce it, that she will be involved in the Mildred Burke Invitational.
Yes, that is true. And we will be having further announcements about the Mildred Burke Invitational later on in December, as we reach out to individuals in the community and in unity and across the social media spectrum of Twitter to join in the Mildred Burke Invitational for the Glow Crown. And here they are, Punk Pop's Not Dead, Benny Banks, and his tag team partner, Byron X12. Formerly known as the British Lanterns, and now after showing a little bit more of their own interest and personality, instead of breaking up, they opted for a name change. And they are the reigning and defending Worldwide Wrestling Network Tag Team Champions. And here we go. Ken Sander attempting to start things off with a belly-to-belly suplex, but Benny Banks using his speed to his advantage, and the Irish whip, and once again, ducking out of the way. And wait a minute, big German suplex, catching Benny Banks, and into a lariat. And wait a minute, taken down with the arm drag. Banks, and Banks just open-handed slapped Ken Sander, and Sander answering back with the nasty lariat. Banks with the right hand.
I was wondering the same thing. And I would just like to comment something on Ken Sander here. Yes, he's got a guaranteed contract with the company after his performance at Battle Bowl, but has he gotten a thank you note from Bigger Grimm for his assistance with Grimm getting into the match to become the #1 contender? I mean, he practically helped Grimm get into Battle Bowl last year by making that cover in the 6-man.
And that is a valid point. It really is. And
Xander is the unsung hero and should honestly be in that title picture, possibly be in that title picture and not Bigger Grimm. I mean, it's questionable. Will Bigger Grimm give him the proper respect if he does get the title off of Simon Sullivan?
Well, that is a whole nother issue that we will address in the main event. And wait a minute, Ken Sander has got, Benny Banks with that sit-out powerbomb. Literally no hesitation, just a short drop and a senton by the big man. And a cover, referee's in position. But Benny...
He definitely is a big man compared to Benny.
And Benny Banks, resilient as ever. Do not count this up-and-coming junior heavyweight out one bit. And the Irish whip, and here comes the pounce.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Michael Grid. The difference in size on these two.
I mean,
he does
Benny Banks is only 18 years old, guys. He's 18 years old, and he's on a national stage. I mean, give this kid some credit.
He's 18 and he looks 12.
And Byron X12 helping out his brother, his comrade, Benny Banks. But is this just delaying the inevitable?
We should be, I think we've got people who are questioning whether or not we should be calling Child Protective Services over the disciplining that Ken Sander is giving Benny Banks right now.
And Sander slowing things down, catching Banks in a rear chin lock, and it is applied with technical precision. And Banks...
Now, am I hearing this right? Michael Grid is now challenging Ken Sander pending Xander's performance in this match? Are we...
And Banks with the 2 count.
We'll have to make a note of this for the championship committee to review on future reference.
And Sander not necessarily known for going to the top rope, and Benny makes it for certain that he does it. Banks, what is Banks doing? Banks, big superplex, as made famous Kingdom. And claw to the face. Irish whip. Danny Banks getting that second wind after the big superplex off the top. Stomping away.
We have got multiple people who are requesting matches against Ken Zander after upon seeing this performance this evening.
And Benny Banks with the frog splash. Tribute to Eddie Guerrero. And see Andrea Washington distracting the referee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Banks! Banks pulls it out. And he's still holding on to the leg. I think we got a glitch. No, we don't. Okay. And what a match!
That is a massive upset. That is a massive upset.
Coming out of darkness with the frog splash and putting away Ken Zander.
That is a massive upset.
Absolutely incredible. And Benny Banks, that might be a record. Benny Banks might be the youngest superstar ever to get a victory in the Worldwide Wrestling Network. Congratulations, Benny Banks. And once again, Banks with something to prove, and he proved it here tonight.
There are going to be some very unhappy people about this upset.
I am fairly certain that we will be hearing from Darius Lockhart later on this evening, considering the upset. Or at least the perceived upset of that match. And ladies and gentlemen, we have got...
Ken got beat by a minor.
He's not a minor, he's 18 years old.
Are we sure about this?
Yes.
Have we seen his birth certificate?
Yes, it was a part of the filing for... it was all... We've done a full background check on Benny Banks.
Speaking of background checks, what's the deal with this Eek in USA?
Ignusa. His name is Ignusa.
Okay, Ignusa.
Ignusa, Hamrick. Ignusa. Enunciate.
Itchy.
Broaden your horizons.
We're gonna call him Itchy. What's the deal with Itchy and his two friends here? I mean, where did we find these guys?
Ignusa is a part of a talent exchange program along with his partner, the Law Dog, and his...
Itchy and Scratchy. It's the Itchy and Scratchy show.
And his friend, and they're a valet, Melianista. They are from Italy, and they have been a part of the Italian wrestling scene for some time, and they are basically coming into the Worldwide Wrestling Network from their European base. Ignusa is a former MMA and basically strike fighter, and
wait, you're telling me Ignusa is an MMA fighter? What is he in the Mighty Mouse category? The Mighty Mouse weight class?
Ignusa is a very, and he was in the welterweight division of...
He's not a... You're not going to convince me he's a welterweight. He's in the Mighty Mouse. He's got to be in the Mighty Mouse weight class.
Well, as a unit. This team is known as Terra Nova. And it features Ignusa, Law Dog, and Milanista.
Weighing in at 235 pounds.
And
Italian stallion.
this young man, Ignusa, he looks very focused for this match. More focused than we have seen him in the past. He's got his friends flanking him. And maybe he is taking this title opportunity for the On-Demand Championship seriously. Michael Maverick, as you know, is the Worldwide Wrestling Network On-Demand Champion, the equivalent to the TV title in other organizations. And this on-demand title can be defended on either Monday Night Melee, Crossfire, or Cyclone Saturday Night, but it will be defended at least once a week on the Worldwide Wrestling Network. And anybody from Cyclone Saturday Night or from Monday Night Melee could potentially get an opportunity for the on-demand champion. And it appears that Ignusa is running a little bit over time with his entrance, but we'll just forgive that with the language barrier.
Dragon, I have to give you credit there. Whoever, please let us know who did this guy's hair. We want to make sure he doesn't go near Gaz Corbin or any of Corbin's associates.
Well, considering that Gaz Corbin has a buzz cut now, thanks to Montezuma Cortez, and considering that
Don't remind me.
And here comes the Worldwide Wrestling Network On-Demand Champion, Michael Maverick.
I keep telling Maverick he needs to play his music backwards so he can get his card back. He can get his dog back. He can get he can get everything back that he's been losing in other promotions lately.
Yes, that is true. Michael Maverick has been venturing into other promotions, Guerrilla Warfare Wrestling and Twitch Community Wrestling lately. And Michael Maverick has had a little bit of a losing streak going on.
He's not just had a losing streak. He has been a disgrace to the Worldwide Wrestling Network and these other promotions. He has not been representing them. He's not been representing our brand in those promotions, and I've got to wonder if Maverick is just not taking seriously Mr. Bronco's edit of combining SPW and the other promotions together for one unified front.
I'm fairly certain that Michael Maverick is taking that seriously, very much so. He is very proud to be able to carry the heritage of the Southern Premier On-Demand Championship into the retitled Worldwide Wrestling Network On-Demand Championship.
Then why is he behaving like an enhancement talent in these other promotions?
Well, it's a different ball game. You know as well as I do, Mr. Hammer, that when you go into a new environment, that you have to test the waters. And he's been on the losing end of a few matches, but he won his debut match. He has had a few things going on personally with one of the talents in TCW. That is a major issue going on right now with Michael Maverick. And as we can see, Ignusa using the speed and his striking ability to really almost waylay a very distracted Michael Maverick. But Maverick catching Ignusha with the big belly-to-belly suplex.
And John is absolutely correct in his assessment. I mean, good wrestlers and good fighters are good in any ring, pit, octagon, alleyway that you put them into. So are you implying, therefore, that Michael Maverick is not as good as he has tried to lead these fans to believe?
Absolutely not. I'm just saying that it's a different environment and it takes some adjustment. And Michael Maverick almost getting the pin on Ignusha in this opening bout. Over the top rope goes Ignusha. Will Terra Nova get involved in this match? They do not seem like the type of individuals that would want to interfere. They look like they are just attempting to cheer on. And
you are absolutely correct, Dragon. You are absolutely correct, Dragon.
Michael Maverick connecting with that big springboard clothesline to Ignusha. But Ignusha diving down. Look at this. And incredibly working the legs, but Maverick going back up. And Maverick is a house of fire. Caught by the boot, by the reversal of Ignusha. But out of the way from that shoulder attack. Now catching Ignusha with the boots in the corner. And big running face wash. And I think Ignusha is busted open. And the cover by Maverick. 1, 2. Oh, and he connects. He connects with the tribute to Ray Lloyd. Laying out Ignusha. And the Irish whip over the top rope. Ignusha going right to the gut with the kick, creating some distance.
Well, I will say Maverick was handed title. Mr. Bennett, I will say that Maverick was handed the title. I will say that he is a two-time champion holding that on-demand title. And the second one, he definitely did beat someone for that title.
And Maverick with...
It was not the person that beat him when he was handed the title the first time around.
Cover 2. Maverick dropping Ignusha with the Peacemaker. And Ignusha showing that he is no slouch, able to get the shoulder up. But Maverick, look at that reversal. Incredible reversal by Michael Maverick. And wait a minute, has Ignusha up. Choke slam. Driving down Ignusha with that big choke slam. And Maverick waiting to see if Ignusha will stand. And stomping, laying in those boots. Catching him with the bionic elbow. And Maverick with the fall-away slam. Doesn't hook the leg. Continuing this punishment. And this might be some of that mean streak that we saw from Battle Bowl with Maverick versus Apollonius. But Ignusha with the double leg takedown. And looking
I will say, from what I saw of the Maverick versus Apollonius at Battle Bowl, I was beginning to have hope for Michael Maverick. But
Maverick catches that spinning heel kick.
His behavior, though, since Battle Bowl has made me reconsider that assessment.
Oh my God, that combination! But it was in the ropes. Ignusha taking advantage. And Maverick, figure 4 leg breaker. And what is Maverick setting up for? Wait a minute, Ignusa able to catch back and forth. This action is absolutely crazy. Neckbreaker slam by Maverick, and Ignusa rolls to the outside. Maverick taunting, daring Ignusa to get back in the ring. Irish whip. And Ignusa, big chop, lighting up the chest of Michael Maverick. Ignusa once again trying to lay in and actually connects with the spinning hook kick. Cover, 1, 2, kick out by Maverick. And Ignusa going to the fans, trying to get some inspiration from his friends Law Dog and Millionista. Gut kick by Ignusa, Irish whip into the corner.
Ignusa is showing his inexperience here, trying to, turn his attention away from Maverick to other things going on in the general area.
That is very true, but Ignusa showing fire here in this title bout, and now caught Maverick stomping away, and he is
showing
holding.
Fire. Who does he think he is? The man? Never mind.
And Ignusa barely letting go. Always having one point of contact, though, Michael Maverick in that exchange. Maverick with the arm drag. Oh! Almost connecting. Oh, with a spinning forearm shot. Absolutely incredible. And a big right hand by Ignusa, sending Maverick to the outside. What a fight. Absolutely, what a fight!
See, if this was the Maverick that we saw at Battle Bowl, this would not be happening. This is what I'm saying, that Maverick is off his game.
Maverick answering back. 2 clotheslines and a super kick.
He is struggling to win this match.
And Ignusa has Maverick turned around in the corner. Big chop. And the cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Maverick.
I mean, Maverick is struggling to beat this newcomer, and it's not a good look for him. It's not a good look for somebody who is supposed to be a veteran representative of the Worldwide Wrestling Network. I am going to personally talk with Bruiser Barco about what we could do to deal with this situation.
And Maverick getting out of the way of that second elbow drop attempt. Going for the cover. 1, 2. And a kick out by Ignusa. And now Maverick setting up for something. No! Ignusa. Back and forth once again. Wait a minute. Has Ignusa up. And the hanging power slam. Wait a minute. Maverick locking in the rings of Saturn. Locking in those rings. And Ignusa able to get out. Neckbreaker slam. And the cover.
You can also say just because
2.
Maverick is only a set, not just his match.
Maverick with the bionic elbow. Big right hand. And just waylaying Ignusa with that combination. And what is this? An ankle lock by Michael Maverick. And just laying in that ankle lock, Ignusa able to roll through. And Maverick with the body block, knocking down Ignusa and dropping the bionic elbow once again.
I don't get why Maverick is, is Maverick trying to show that, he's trying to learn a submission move or something? What is
Maverick
with all of this?
Michael Maverick has been training a little bit, trying to garner a little bit more work in his submission background.
Who has he been training with? Natalia? Never mind, don't answer that.
And Ignusa, and he is setting a big leg drop by Ignusa. And that connects. Cover. 1, 2. Maverick kicks out.
And Maverick is busted open by, like the stuck pig he is.
Maverick is bleeding. Both of these men are bleeding. And this is what the on-demand championship means to both of these individuals. They are bleeding deep cuts across the forehead. Maverick with the right hand sending Ignusa reeling into the ropes. Catches Ignusa. Big forearm shot. And now Maverick. He's got Ignusa up, and it's the dead man's hand. Will the dead man's hand end this match? Maverick staring off. He's in outer space.
Maverick's had trouble ending anything else this past few weeks. I don't know that this will be any.
And Maverick taking up Peacemaker. Peacemaker connects in the ring. 1, 2. No, Ignusa digging deep.
Like I said, Maverick is having trouble closing the deal. He's had this problem in this match. He's had this problem in other promotions. He's had this problem at that place outside Athens, Georgia. He's just had problems closing the deal all over the place lately.
And the blood is pouring. Big right hands. Maverick just stomping away on Ignusa. Pulling out of the corner with the power bomb. And Maverick looks like dropping the elbow. And wait a minute. Maverick locking in the Carolina Cloverleaf. And Ignusa able to roll out.
That was my
blocking
point.
the forearm over the top rope.
That's my point exactly, Clover. Dragon scale.
And Maverick trying to get to his feet. Ignusa has the high ground. Catching Maverick with a forearm shot. Maverick answering back with a right hand. And Maverick, he might be going for the dead man's hand again. Dropping Ignusa on his head with the dead man's hand. And this is where Maverick should cover, but he's not. Cover, 1, 2, 3. And I have no idea what that hesitation is about.
I think I might understand. Maverick was looking at somebody who was in the front row. Who was in the front, well, in that front second row where he just got up and left after the match.
Who was he looking at?
Gentleman? I don't know who that gentleman is, but he had a crazy look in his eye when he was looking at Maverick. Maverick was staring at him. Both times, I think. That guy just got up and walked away. I don't know who he was.
Also, guys, I apologize. This was supposed to be a title match, and the titles aren't showing up. So, apologies. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our main event of the evening. The Prospect, Joe Blade, PSW World Heavyweight Champion, Joe Blade, facing off against Bigger Grim, the #1 contender for the Worldwide Wrestling Network Championship. And Bigger Grim's story is one of absolute heartbreak. Bigger Grim was a part of the Battle Bowl tournament, which begins with the Lethal Lottery. And it appeared that in his match, he was saddled with a partner that match ended in the timeout. Bigger Grim and his partner. Thank you, Crit, for that host. Thank you. And Bigger Grim was able to enter the Battle Bowl as a last-minute addition due to the fact that he was able to get in the last chance free man with himself and Ken Zander and Alibaba. Please don't. Okay, alright, there it went. And Bigger Grim is now the #1 contender for Shining Simon Sullivan's Worldwide Wrestling Network title. A disputed title, I might add. Some say that Bruiser Barco's actions at Battle Bowl should invalidate signing Simon Sullivan's title defense at the crown jewel of the Worldwide Wrestling Network. But Bigger Grim is still the #1 contender for the WWWN title. But he has a big hill to climb in Joe Blade. Joe Blade has had a massive summer throughout PSW, PWR, and UWA. An incredible rivalry with Jonathan Ray, an individual who started in at the very bottom and has risen to the top of his profession. The Prospect, Joe Blade, is a big acquisition for the Worldwide Wrestling Network. And Joe Blade is a big individual. Very strong, very intimidating. Blade has
I like what I see in this guy. I can definitely understand why he is being hailed as the Prospect by so many on so many talent scouts for the Worldwide Wrestling Network. This is a man who has potential.
And he has proven that potential in other organizations, and he is looking to continue with that in the Worldwide Wrestling Network. But here is the number one contender for the Worldwide Wrestling Network Heavyweight Championship, Bigger Grim.
Bigger Grim, who is, and he has all of these accolades that you mentioned, but you failed to mention his greatest one. He is one of the first graduates from the Mr. T Fashion School.
Will you please stop?
What? It's true. I have it on good authority that scarf was a hand-me-down from Mr. T's mama. That it belonged to Mr. T, that Mr. T's own mother gave Victor Grimm that scarf.
And the Prospect and Bigger Grim starting things off in a dead heat, and Blade dropping Bigger Grim with a float over DDT. And Grim going to his MMA background with the takedowns and the reversals, but Blade, what a drop toe hold into the ropes. Not something you would expect from a man his size. Grim with that sucker punch. Bigger Grim, named by his father after the main character from The Invisible Man, named after Bigger Thomas, and Joe Blade laying out Grim with the full Nelson facebuster. But Grim...
And I don't know what's worse, being named after a character from The Invisible Man or being a boy named Sue.
And this match going back and forth. Heavy strikes by Joe Blade. And the Prospect going for a quick cover. But Grim not going down. Once again, grounding Bigger Grim with those punches. And level Grim.
We can neither confirm nor deny that observation, Michael Grid.
Oh! German suplex by Grim. And now Grim utilizing the ropes, but caught. Right hand and Blade with the spear. And Joe Blade with a pop-up powerbomb and going for the cover.
I would just like to point out.
One,
I would just like to point out.
two, kick out by Grim.
Blade has had an answer for everything that Grim has thrown at him this evening, and has been more than enough for Grim to handle it. It appears, and it makes me wonder if Grim is the rightful number one contender for the world title. I mean, maybe it should be Joe Blade.
Well, Bigger Grim went through 20 other men and an entire tournament for this
Joe
opportunity.
Blade was not in that match. Joe Blade was not in that match.
And Blade with what a neck breaker. And the cover by Blade. Shoulders are down. Kick out by Grim.
No. Mr. Grid, Joe Blade is the
Oh my
prospect.
God, what a big spine buster.
He is the prospect. He is the most sought after prospect by the talent coordinators of the Worldwide Wrestling Network.
1, 2, kick out by Grimm. And Grimm smartly taking a breather. Left hand by Grimm, caught by the kick by the prospect. And wait a minute, nice reversal into the single arm DDT. And Grimm connects with the Ghetto Blaster. Cover. 1, 2, kick out by Blade.
Well, it's like I said, Grimm is not keeping him down.
And Grimm going for the Grimm Sleeper. And it is locked in. And wait a minute, Joe Blade able to roll out the Grimm Sleeper, catching him with the Spinal Tap. And then Blade connecting with that forearm and a spear.
Well, we've had questions about the ability of the referee to count all night, Dragon Scale.
Cover.
And
1,
I mean,
2, kick out by Grimm.
even though I'm not sure if that was a slow count or not, we have had questions about whether or not the referee does have 20/20 vision.
And Grant and the prospect latching in with that straight jacket choke, but Grimm able to reverse it. Oh, Grimm answering back, 2 clotheslines, and coming back with a big drop kick. And the fighting spirit of Bigger Grimm is alive and well. Grimm, oh, and Grimm, half Nelson sleeper slam. What a suplex, cover, 1, 2, kick out by the prospect. And wait at Joe Blade blocks the Grimm Sleeper. And the reversals in this match. These guys have had an answer for one another throughout this match. Grimm, the strength. Good God! Bigger Grimm with the buckle bomb to Joe Blade. And then getting him down, running those knees. These vicious combo by Grimm. And now attempting to take away the strength.
Those knees ought to be outlawed. He could give a guy a concussion.
And yet Joe Blade gets to wear freaking razors on his right arm. And wait a minute. Oh, Joe answering. Oh, with a big boot driving down.
Those are not razors. I saw that same kind of armband worn by a 10-year-old in a Batman outfit. It's the same material. It's equally harmless.
And Grimm catching Joe Blade. Blade was attempting a spear, dropping him with the DDT. Ghetto Blaster connects. Cover in the center of the ring. 1, 2, and Joe kicks out. The referee, Grimm, is absolutely livid. And sneaking behind Joe Blade, but Blade very easily, knowing that the Grimm Sleeper was coming, rolls through, catches Grimm. Look at these shots. Up and over with that German suplex. And the spear by Blade. Cover. 1, 2.
Mike, I was actually talking about Dragon Scale's Batman outfit. But, I mean, that's another story.
And look at this, raking those blades across the face of Bigger Grill. Pop-up powerbomb by the Prospect. 1, 2, 3.
And Joe Blade has beaten Bigger Grill. Like I said, he ought to be the #1 contender for Simon & Sullivan's title.
Well, that is something that we may have to consider. I know that Bruiser Barco is very high on the Prospect.
Here is your winner, Joe Blade.
As he should be after that performance. I mean, I don't think anyone could argue otherwise.
And Joe Blade closes out
And
our
you're
first
absolutely
episode.
right. You're absolutely right, Michael Ridge. There is one star, and it is that man, Joe Blade. The Prospect.
And Joe Blade closes out the inaugural Monday Night Melee with a victory over the #1 contender for the Worldwide Wrestling Network title, throwing out everything that we knew to be true in the Worldwide Wrestling Network starting out. As we said, ladies and gentlemen, this is a brand new reality. Welcome to the Worldwide Wrestling Network Season 2. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for coming out and joining the Worldwide Wrestling Network for our inaugural stream. And just letting everybody know that we are going to be back Thursday night with Cyclone